Hi, everyone. This is a continuation of our Broker Bay training series. Our training videos break down the system into smaller parts so we can master one area before we move on to the next. The focus of this video is configuring your showing instructions for your listings. Let's get started. When you log onto Broker Bay, your default screen is going to be your dashboard. You will come to find that this dashboard is clean, well organized, and very easy to navigate. You have 4 main boxes in the center of your screen. These boxes will give you a glimpse of your current business. From here, you can manage your listings, manage your showings as a buyer agent as well as a listing agent, and deal with any tasks that may need to be accomplished. It's also going to give you a quick glimpse of your contacts that you've set up. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the listing management side and configuring your showing instructions. First thing to take note of is that all of your listings that you load onto MLS are automatically going to pull into Broker Bay, regardless of which board they're listed on. So if you're listing on PCAR or any of the other boards outside of TREB, they will still automatically pull into the Broker Bay system. They pull into your Broker Bay dashboard as well as to the administrative Broker Bay dashboard. Once your listing is in here, we will need to go in and configure those showings. It's important to note at this point that you can go in and configure the showings yourself, or our staff are still happy to do that for you. Broker Bay has a value-added service of making it very simple to add your showing instructions in. But if you still wish the front desk staff to do that for you, they're happy to do it. So let's log in and get into our listing manager, and let's set up some showing instructions. So from this part of your listing, this part of the dashboard, we're going to focus on our listing manager, and we're going to click right into one of our listings. This is going to take us into the home screen for that particular listing. Once we're in that home screen, you'll notice there are a couple different things you can do in here. There's a showings tab, an offers tab, feedback, documents, message agents, edit listing. For today's purposes, we're going to be focusing solely on the showings tab, and we will be offering videos for the various other tabs along the way. So to set up our showing instructions, we're going to click into the showings tab here. And then we're going to navigate to this blue button on the right side and click Configure Showings. At this point, it's simply data entry and following the prompts. So you're going to be by default in your showing configurations, the showing settings. So we can set parameters as far as how much notice we need for our showings. We can set the duration of those showings. So are we going to allow the agents in there for only 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? And we can decide whether or not we're allowing double bookings. Of course, from a brokerage perspective, we're recommending that you do not allow double bookings on your showings. But in the event that a double booking is allowed, you would toggle that on, and you can indicate that you want to notify the agents that there are overlapping showings. I'm going to gloss over this part right now, and we're going to skip over here to showing instructions. We're going to come back to this in a moment. So showing agents instructions, this section of the showing configurations is what is sent out to the cooperating agent when they receive confirmation of their showing. So here's where we can select how they access the property. And if we've chosen a lockbox, we can put in our lockbox code and any other lockbox indicator information. One of the cool things in Broker Bay is that we have the ability now to upload a photo of where our lockbox is actually located. So this is really handy if we're working with condos, and we've all seen where lockboxes end up with condos. Sometimes you've got 100 to choose from, and you get those long instructions of the red ribbon on the left side by the bike rack. This will eliminate the need for that. You can actually take a picture of exactly where your lockbox is and upload it into your showing instructions. And then when the agent receives those showing instructions, they will also receive the picture of that lockbox where it's located. We can further add alarm instructions. If the property has an alarm, we can add in a separate section for that. And over here, it will automatically default to send the showing agent these instructions: turn off lights, remove shoes, etc. If we have other instructions, such as don't let the cat out, we can simply add it in this box here. Now, scrolling down the page, we're going to look at how we can set parameters around restricting timeframes or auto-confirming certain timeframes. So let's say we have a listing where the seller says they don't want showings after 7 p.m. every day. We would navigate to this section of our showing configuration, and all we do is click the time frame where we're going to start this. So it's 7 p.m. Monday night, and we're going to drag it across every day of the week and all the way down. Now it's showing that you cannot book an appointment after 7 p.m. on this particular listing. All of this information is automatically showcased when you try to book an appointment through Treb. So when you hit the online appointment booking button on Treb for your listing, and an agent tries to choose a time frame, this will automatically be blocked out for them. They will not be allowed to pick those time frames. If we need to remove those restrictions, it's the exact same process. We just click and drag, and it will remove those restrictions for us. Now, let's say our clients are going away for the weekend and they've said to you, you can have appointments at any time. We can choose to auto-confirm those appointments. That means the seller doesn't necessarily get contacted where we have to wait for permission. They'll be notified that those appointments are taking place and that they've been auto-confirmed. So we're going to click auto-confirm, and then we're going to do it for the entire weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So now we've reflected in there that during those time frames, we can auto-confirm those appointments. If we want to take it off, again, it's the same process. Click, highlight, and let go. So that's how we set those restrictions for timing on our showings. If we have certain timeframes we don't want showings, or certain timeframes that we'd like to auto-confirm, we're able to do that right in this section here. And again, anything that is done in this part will automatically be reflected on the online booking system. All right, let's bounce back up to this part here where we're talking about who can approve those showings. So we have a couple of different options about approving showings. So we can have our seller, we need to contact them to confirm. We can also select that showings be auto-confirmed. When you select this, a pop-up will come up to verify that you actually do want that to happen. When a showing is auto-confirmed, it just means that when that agent books the online appointment, they automatically receive the confirmation at the same time. We can also select so that the listing agent is to confirm the appointments. So let's say we want our seller to confirm appointments. Now we need to scroll down and add our seller as a contact. So midway through our screen here, we're going to click this Add Contact button. So we have to select what our contact type is. So for this purpose right now, we're going to say seller, and this is our primary contact. If we were to have a husband and wife or more than one seller for a listing that would like to be contacted, You do have to add that contact, those contacts separately. And you can indicate whether they're the primary, second, third, or other contact for that listing. So we're going to add in our test seller. We're going to give them an email address. And we're going to give them a phone number. So we've entered their contact information in. Now we're going to get to decide how they are going to allow those showings. Who's giving permission and how are they granting that permission? So in Broker Bay, your sellers can auto confirm, deny, or reschedule a showing. You would just have to select if you do want them to be able to do that. So you can turn those permissions on or off at this point. If we turn these permissions off, or sorry, on, where the client can confirm, deny, or make a time change suggestion for those listings, for those showings, you're going to select that on here. And what that will look like is when your client gets the email for the showing request, this is what the email will look like. And they can either accept, deny, or suggest a new time. So if they accept the appointment, they're going to be taken into their own seller dashboard. And on this seller dashboard, they don't have to log in or anything like that. It goes automatic to it when they click the button on the email. They will have the option in here to sync these showings to their own calendars. So if they use a Google Calendar, a calendar on their iPhone, or an Outlook calendar, they will have the option of clicking this button and syncing that all of these showings into their personal calendars. It's a pretty handy tool. Let's say they decided they want to suggest a new time to this broker, to this agent. Let's say the time that they've booked is not convenient, so your client wants to say come at a different time. They can click suggest, and it will take them to a screen where they can suggest a new date and time. So they can pick whichever day they want, whichever time they want. And if the showing agent declines the new date and time, what should happen to the original request? Okay. So the client can actually offer those things right within that first email. So that's what happens if we set the permissions to that the seller can confirm, they can deny or cancel, and if we allow them to suggest a time to rebook that appointment. That's what that's going to look like. This is going to be used for those clients who are fairly tech savvy and are happy to be able to do that on their phones mostly. If we have some clients who are not as tech savvy, we can turn all of this off and indicate that the client must be called to confirm appointments. And we simply do that by clicking must call, and it will indicate that to the front desk that that client must be called. We can add multiple phone numbers for them to call and indicate which ones need to be called first. Another part that you'll want to pay attention to when you're adding in that seller contact is the notifications section. So in the notifications, these are all the things that are automatically set to be sent to your client. So they'll be sent an email when an appointment is requested, confirmed, canceled, denied, or if there's a time change. You can even set it so that they receive reminders of showings coming in. You can see that this is likely going to be quite a few emails for your client. So if you have somebody who maybe doesn't want to receive all those emails, you might want to come in and adjust this. Or at the very least, you may want to let your sellers know that these are the notifications that they'll be receiving. Once we set in all the information that we want here and set our permissions the way we want them, we simply click save. And it will prompt us that saving this info will add this new contact to our listing agents module. We click continue, and our seller has been added. All of the information here is going to automatically generate into the admin side of your showing appointments. So they will see all of this that you've just entered in for them. That's it for adding your showing instructions. So we've gone through adding our showing settings, our minimum showing notice, duration, double bookings, our showing instructions that are giving out to our cooperating agents, how we are approving those showings, adding those clients, the seller clients, and putting on our restrictions or our auto confirms if we need them. Once we've finished all that, we can click save and we'll be brought back out to our listings home screen. One more thing I want to show you before we move on. Let's say we've put our listing up, we've added our showing instructions, and now we're actually getting showings booked on our listing. If you want to see those showings that are being booked on your listing, you would simply click this showings tab, and it's going to take you into a list of all the showings that are currently booked or have been booked on your listing. To view more about this showing or to view the tracking logs, you can click this eyeball and it will show you exactly what has happened with this showing. It will show you who did the emailing, how it was emailed, who opened it, if it was delivered properly. Same with text messaging, push notifications. It will save any feedback that's been sent to you by that co-op agent. It'll give you the option to send a reminder to that agent to provide you the feedback. And it will also log the COVID-19 waiver that must be signed prior to anyone booking showings on your listings. So all of that information is going to be saved under each one of your listing appointments. It will also notify you in red if there are things that need to be addressed regarding those showings. So if you're still waiting for a COVID-19 form before you can confirm an appointment, it's going to notify you of that here, as well as if you're missing feedback and we want to send a reminder to that cooperating agent to send us that feedback. Now, if you wanted to be able to download a list of all the showings you've had on your listing into a PDF form, you would simply navigate to this screen and then click this little button here. And you have the option of downloading this into a CSV file, or you can print it to a PDF. I'm just going to take us back into our configure showings tab because I did want to show you just quickly the COVID-19 part of it as well. I forgot to show you that. So we do have the COVID-19 tab on all of our listings. It is set to automatically send the new booking mandatory waiver. That's done at the brokerage level, and you should not change that. So automatically, any listings within the brokerage, anybody who tries to book a showing on one of our listings will automatically be sent one of these waivers to sign before they are given confirmation to view the property. So that's it for our showing configuration video. If you have any questions about getting your showings up onto your listings, please feel free to reach out to either the front desk staff or to any one of us on the management team. Just a reminder that, again, you do not have to do this part of it if you don't want to. We are happy to still do this part for you. If you want your showing instructions uploaded by the front desk staff, you simply send in your showing instruction sheet the way you always have, and they will take care of it for you. If you do want to be able to do it yourself, again, this is a pretty straightforward process to do it. But if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and looking forward to showing you more parts of the system as we go along. Have a great day, everyone.